Quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second. Chase the glory. Visez haut.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Thunderbird Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, APAR, and by Indochino.
Welcome to Thunderbird Arena and the 2025 Indochino U-Sports Basketball Final 8 presented by Victory Creative Group. I'm Jake McGrail along with Katie Miyazaki and sideline reporter Sarah Saeed as we get set to bring you today's third U-Sports Women's Championship quarterfinal contest between the number 4 seed St. Mary's Huskies and the number 5 seed and host UBC Thunderbirds. After a long and grueling 6-month season, we're down to 6 teams remaining in their quest to hoist the bronze baby. As you see the bracket on screen right now, the T-Birds and the Huskies. Winner of this one will face off the winner of the Saskatchewan Huskies and the Alberta Pandas, also taking place tonight. And let's meet some of the key players in today's game, beginning with the Huskies' dominant forward, Clara Gascoigne.
Yeah, you've got a U-Sports first-team All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year, AUS of everything, right? But I'm pretty sure if you asked her, she would trade it all for success for her team, and they want to get that win today.
And on the side of the Thunderbirds, they feature the young, dynamic guard, Kira Daly.
Yeah, and Kira can score and lead the transition. She's kind of just a taller point guard out there, right, and can lead this offense, and she's just gotten better and better as the years gone along, but she's only one of many of the weapons in this UBC offense.
Two teams with the tools to try and make it far in this competition. When we return, we'll meet the starting lineups and tip off this U-Sports quarterfinal. Live from Vancouver, you're watching U-Sports on CBC.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Hey U-Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Early mornings, late nights, every rep, every sacrifice leading to this. Fueled by BioSteel, the best get the chance to make their mark. One weekend, one shot at glory.
Very close to tip here in this U Sports quarterfinal on CBC. Two very good teams set to do battle here at Thunderbird Arena, and we'll hand things off to the PA announcer to help set the stage for this one. Looks like we'll actually have a little bit more time for them to be warming up out there in the court. And Katie, these are two teams definitely not familiar with each other, so we'll see how that plays out. One of the great things about this national championship tournament, you get to face off some teams, some players you only read about or perhaps see on various streaming services, but now you're face to face.
Yeah, and for St. Mary's, this is a team that's got 7 fifth years on their team, and they've been to the last 3 this is their 3rd consecutive national championship. Where on the other side, you've kind of got a relatively young, and this is a very new experience for this UBC Thunderbirds team, but they're getting to play in front of their fans. They're getting to play at home, and you know that that's going to give them a little bit of an edge.
Definitely will be intriguing to see how this one plays out, and just 2.5 minutes away. Now we should be about ready to hear the starting lineups and get closer to that opening tip. We are just about ready to get underway here at Thunderbird Arena for the UBC players. Their first time hearing their names called at the U Sports Final 8 for so many on the Huskies. They know this will be the last year where they'll be able to have that experience and trying to break through and fight for what would be the program's first national title if they're able to make a run here in Vancouver. Ceremonial tip-off at center court. Leona Sparrow out there. Legendary UBC Thunderbird.
Olivia Weeks making sure that ball looks good.
Will be Weeks and Gascoigne to jump center. The spot in the U Sports semifinals on the line. hoping to become the third team to punch their ticket to that round, which would guarantee a shot at a medal of some color. Starting us off, it is the champions of the AUS, and it's Aki Kobayashi with the mid-range jumper.
Yeah, and if you're SMU, you really like to see that first one go through the hoop. We've seen it in some of these other games, getting those jitters out early.
UBC trying to do the same with Mona Berlitz driving inside. Good defense there by the Huskies. It'll be UBC ball on the baseline. Two teams that are very strong defensively, and it's the first steal going the way of St. Mary's. Gascoigne the other way, set up by Kobayashi.
Yeah, we'll see if turnovers, right? We're in a national quarterfinal of every possession matters, so limiting those turnovers, especially live ball turnovers.
And as you say that, another live ball turnover going the other way, spinning around inside, unable to put up a shot there was Lucy Beaumont. Now Kobayashi into the hands of Aaliyah Fraser, has a lane to drive, stripped. Last out off of Fraser, so now a turnover going the other way.
A lot of fast action to start here of people trying to get their rhythm.
St. Mary's #1 in the AUS at committing the fewest turnovers. UBC, one of the best teams in Canada, was at forcing them. Sarah Taniguchi drives through traffic, rejected inside by Chloe Wilson.
Yeah, and if you look at this lineup from St. Mary's, it's a whole bunch of fifth years out there, so a lot of experience. They've been here before.
There's a foul on the inside. Weeks will head to the free throw line. She did a very good job in the Canada West playoffs at getting to the line. 16 free throw attempts in 3 games. And she gets the first points of the night, first points of the tournament for UBC, competing at their first U Sports Final 8 since 2015.
And here's the token UBC pressure. You know it's going to be here all game long in the full court. If they want to make you have to move faster than you can process.
Kobayashi, nice dish. Unable to finish inside was Wilson. Now coming the other way is Karis Merton. Dribbling her way inside, finds Weeks on the perimeter. Now Berlitz in the post. An immediate double team sent by the Huskies. Weeks wide open from the outside. She doesn't take a huge number, but she's very close to 50% from deep on the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Great drive there. Berlitz saw the double team, quick pass out, and you get those wide open shots.
Weeks with the first 5 points for the T-Birds, as Wilson, the top outside shooter on the Huskies, unable to hit on her first attempt, but a loose ball foul called on UBC. Shot clock back to 14. It's into the hands of Gascoigne. Drives through traffic and she lays it in. Taniguchi gives it up to Weeks. Now Merton, UBC, swinging it around the perimeter. Berlitz looks off Daly, instead drives, has to try and throw it up with the shot clock winding down. Good stop right there by the Huskies. Kobayashi, stop there by Merton, but Wilson picks up the pieces, just can't finish.
Back and forth we go. We can see a plethora of subs coming in for UBC. Good pace.
Nice bounce pass inside. Taniguchi wide open on the weak side. Some more UBC pressure on that inbound, trying to force that turnover. Merton coming close.
It'll be interesting too how SMU does with, again, the pressure of UBC. They really rotate through. They're a whole team. They go really deep into their roster, and if they're going to have this pressure against an SMU team that doesn't usually go that deep, of whether it will wear them down as the game goes along.
And as you say that, a triple sub for the T-Birds. Jade Hun in at the point, as well as UBC's two fifth-year seniors, Emily Martindale and Jessica Clark. Daly looking to get herself involved for the first time tonight. Spinning around, swings it to the outside. Hun fires, back iron, but tracks down her own rebound. Now Daly again into the corner for Hun. Right back to Daly. Goes up with the left, good defense. Clark there, stuck under the basket, unable to finish.
Yeah, you can see that the Huskies defense is really trying to take away those drive lanes, and if UBC is going to beat them, it's going to be at the three-point line.
And there is the three-pointer from SMU, no good, but the cleanup is there. That's Marlo Steenbaker's in off the bench. We go back and forth here in the first half of this opening quarter. Hun trying to feed it to Clark in the post, knocked away. Another UBC live ball turnover. Coming the other way is Fraser. Gascoigne pump fakes, drives, swing, catch and fire. Kobayashi, no good. Now Hun has some space to try and float to Clark, but cut off there by Fraser, and then a foul is called.
Yeah. It'll be interesting as this game goes along to see if either team can get a little hot from the outside, because that seems to be, they're really clogging up the lanes and making them have to shoot from the outside, but neither team shoots exceptionally well from the three-point line, but it's nationals, it's their time to shine.
Two teams that love to play through their forwards, through the inside. We'll see what the rest of this opening quarter has in store. SMU up 8-7. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Delaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest, le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur ici-tout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ici-tout.tv.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the best U Sports women's hockey teams as they face off in the 2025 Miller Waste Systems U Sports Women's Hockey Championship in Woolwich, Ontario. The action begins next Thursday, March 20th on CBC. U Sports on CBC, where champions are made. We'll have a champion made this Sunday here in Vancouver. Two of them, in fact, between men's and the women's tournaments. Both of these two teams hoping to make it to that gold medal matchup as the first three for the Huskies rattles home. Steenbakers with a quick 5 points off the bench for St. Mary's. Martindale trying to feed it to Clark. And her pass is deflected, hands all over the passing lanes from the Huskies as they let UBC off the hook right there, unable to convert on the fast break.
Yeah, and that's going to be a tough one for UBC, as there's a lot of length in there. Again, they're probably all about 6 feet tall out there, and they got the wingspan to match, and not even longer. So when you make a decision, you're going to have to come balanced and make sure you go around those arms.
You can see SMU really keying in on those Clark post-ups. She's been such an efficient scorer in her lone season here at UBC. We'll see if she can get going as Berlitz gets herself going, driving in with the left.
And that's where Berlitz is so difficult to guard. You don't know if she's going to go right, left, just so good with both hands.
Another three by Steenbaker's off the mark, but tracked down there by Beaumont, who drives in, just leaves it a bit short. UBC with the chance to tie or take the lead. Clark immediately swings it back out to Daly. Drives, Euro step, but unable to finish at the rim. Unfortunate after a great move to free yourself in the lane.
Yeah, great move as that help defense got to the block to cut off that lane, but that Euro step creates a whole different lane for her to still attack and get that shot.
Taniguchi back in for the T-Birds as Berlitz goes into the post, spins back right, can't finish. Rebound, pulled down by the Huskies. Kobayashi flings it to the corner. Evie Hargraves short on the triple. Crowd trying to get the home team going. Taniguchi thought about the three. She'll take the three. No good. 1 for 3 from the outside are the T-Birds. 1 for 6 for SMU. Gascoigne. Now it's swung around. Another three-pointer. No good, but Gascoigne will free to fire it, and she hits the second for SMU.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be the last time that the T-Birds leave her open. I was watching her in warm-up, and she's got very consistent form time after time.
Taniguchi now inside. Clark immediately turns, fires before a double team can arrive and draws the foul.
Yeah, at 6'4", Clark is a very tough one to handle there and was able to absorb that contact and draw that foul. There's some exhausted bodies out there after this first quarter of Get Nationals. They allow you a little bit more contact, which is awesome. They let you play, but it does fatigue you just a little bit more. And I think whatever team adjusts to that contact the quickest and the best is going to be the one that wins this game today.
Especially for two teams that play such defensive, physical styles of play. Clark hit both her free throws and will now be replaced by Sophia Bergman. Leah Fraser back in for the Huskies. She has it knocked away from behind by Daly, but then Berlitz slips. Opportunity lost there for the T-Birds. Into the hands of Gascoigne. The AUS MVP sees two bodies fly at her. From the outside, off the mark. Now it's pulled down by Fraser. Hargraves blocked inside. I'm not sure whether that was Daly or Bergman or
Maybe
both.
both, yeah.
In the end, it's a UBC block. Berlitz to the cup, and she puts it home.
Berlitz has gone right, Berlitz has gone left, right? So difficult to defend.
Gascoigne now into the corner. Hargraves, same spot as her first attempt and a different result. The Huskies are taking the majority of their shots from the outside, despite shooting just 28% from 3 in the regular season.
Again, it's a clean slate here at Nationals, right? All that matters is this one going forward.
Berlitz through traffic, can't finish. Huskies holding a 4-point lead in a first quarter that has absolutely flown by here at Thunderbird Arena. Not too many stoppages. Steenbakers, Hargraves free to fire! 2 in a row for the rookie.
See if UBC's got an answer here, right? Or if they look to go inside.
Taniguchi does drive inside. Nice fake to free herself, just can't finish. Bergman fighting for the ball. It'll be a tie-up. So remains in the hands of UBC.
If you're UBC, right, you're just riding this wave right now. The Huskies are shooting a very good percentage from the 3, but stick to your game plan, which a lot of that is going downhill, getting to the rim.
Berlitz trying to do just that. She's spinning around through contact. Good defense once again on the inside by St. Mary's, but good fight there by Taniguchi to win the loose ball. Will be side out UBC. Just 4 seconds on the shot clock. It never reset. Fed into the post. Berlitz again drives, goes up with the right and puts it home.
Yeah, Berlitz is doing a great job of being able to turn that corner and basically getting the defender on her back so that she's got a clean shot.
Fraser no good on the 3-point attempt, and that is how the opening quarter will end, with the St. Mary's Huskies holding a 20-15 lead over the home team, the UBC Thunderbirds, in a game where Huskies have been firing from the outside. Gascoigne 7 points, Evie Hargraves 6 off the bench. And we'll have more U Sports action on CBC after the break.
We are athletes.
Do you know what Husky athletes are made of?
Determination.
Hustle. Resilience. We're part of a team and a community.
We work hard for every goal.
And every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become?
Pharmacists. Teachers. Professionals.
Olympians.
When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future. When you elevate her, you elevate the game. Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports.
See her, be her.
First quarter statistics are brought to you by Wilson, makers of the official U Sports basketball, and the Huskies defense putting up a strong defensive press on the inside, holding UBC 5 for 16 from the field and forcing some turnovers as well, Katie.
Yeah, but the biggest difference in that quarter, I think, came off the bench for the Huskies of Hargraves and Steenbaker going 3 of 7 from beyond the arc, and that kind of spurred their run.
It's the starting 5 back out there on the court for the Huskies. Merton, Daly, Martindale, Clark, and Berlitz for UBC. And that is an illegal screen to start Kobayashi. You can see her looking a little bewildered after that call.
The Huskies usually don't go super deep into their bench, and especially around nationals, you probably won't go deep in your bench, so we'll see if the fouls add up here. That was Kobayashi's second personal foul.
Definitely will be a puzzle for Coach Scott Monroe to try and solve, as Daly drives, goes through the contact, and floats it home.
And that's exactly what got Daly named the Rookie of the Year. Plays like that, willing to score in all facets of the game.
Second on the team in scoring this season behind only Berlitz. Fraser floats it over Merton, can't get it to drop. Berlitz coming the other way. Daly from a step or two behind the three-point line off the mark. Not sure if you can call it a heat check when it comes after just one shot, but clearly trying to get herself going here to start the second. Kobayashi, Wilson, the mid-range jumper, no good. Last off of Beaumont.
Both teams are crashing the boards hard. In that first quarter, there was 5 offensive rebounds by UBC and 6 by the Huskies. So want to limit those second chance opportunities.
Clark again trying to create some room for herself in the post. She'll instead get it on the perimeter. Nice high-low feed to Weeks. Through traffic, can't finish. The rim defense for the Huskies has been impressive so far as they force a tie-up.
Yeah, but that was a great high post feed from Clark, and that's almost one of the places where Clark is so dangerous, is in that high post, because she just sees so well and has different passing angles than everyone else.
So UBC retains it only for the moment, though, as Gascoigne showing her Defensive Player of the Year chops. Kobayashi, nice feed there. Kicks back out to Gascoigne. Swung around to Wilson as time to fire. No good. Martindale. Clark trying to hit her before the defense is set, but another UBC turnover, number 7 already.
Yeah, and that's where the ability to have a little bit more contact on defense kind of influenced that play. Clark got bumped a little bit, but in this you have to be so much more precise with your passes.
Martindale now coming the other way. Clark trying that high-low feed once again, and again a turnover. The Huskies doing damage defensively, but then Merton, UBC's resident ball hawk, gets it right back. She now uses a screen from Weeks, but picks up her dribble. Weeks drives, goes up with the left, off the back iron, and bouncing around and out. Wilson into the corner. No hesitation on the 3 right there by Beaumont. Wilson crashing to the deck and saves it. Who's going to come up with it? It's Beaumont. Now Fraser. Shot clock at 7. Gascoigne drives, using that wingspan, but can't bank it in.
UBC slowing it down a bit, right? Nothing in transition. They love to run, but they also love that they have 6'4" Jessica Clark in the paint.
And that's the type of action they've been looking for all game so far. Clark finally able to create just enough breathing room to receive that pass and finish.
Yeah, they ran, I think it was a 4-high set there, so it really just took away the help defense, so they were able to lob it over top to Jessica Clark for the and one.
Clark was the second leading scorer in the Canada West final last weekend, despite coming off the bench, as UBC fell just short against Saskatchewan. She now takes a seat. Bergman back in. Hun and Kira Daly also back in.
A little bit of a 1-2-2 zone pressure here.
And finally, the pressure results in a turnover for the T-Birds, and that gets the crowd energized. Jade Hun with the finish.
Yeah, it's a double straight off the bat.
And another turnover. Bergman now driving straight into the body, and you could see that charge coming from a couple kilometers away.
Well, that one hurt there for Kobayashi. Hopefully she's okay down there, but the UBC Thunderbirds have switched it, 1-2-2, and they're trapping right off the bat, and we'll see if the Huskies make an adjustment here and just be calm and collected, knowing that they've got a lot of height, that they just have to pivot and find those passing lanes.
It's given UBC a slim lead.
There we go.
And there is a good press break, but a good recovery. Weeks flying in for the, can you call it help defense if it's coming from the opposite side?
Well, that's the hardest part when you break a press, is there's so many people sprinting up from behind you that you don't even see coming.
And now Weeks on the other end drives right into the body. UBC not shying away from contact, but they've not been able to finish quite efficiently through it as of yet, as Wilson has space to fire, no good. Daly feeds it to Bergman. Again, immediate double team in the post from the Huskies and another turnover.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. Bergman's just got to know that there's going to be a double and you can't put the ball on the ground. You got to kind of pivot and find your open friend, open teammate on the outside.
Nice bounce pass there on the inside. Kobayashi. Wilson hitting the deck there was Hun, and that's as easy as it gets for Chloe Wilson.
Yeah, and if you're the Huskies, you're happy to see that. If that's their first basket of this quarter, come in 4.5 minutes in.
Weeks, nice up and under move, just can't finish on the inside, trying to save it, unable to do so.
Yeah, tough one there again. The Thunderbirds are aware that there's going to be someone meeting them on that block to kind of pivot and go around, but this unlucky and unable to make it fall.
Beaumont back in, getting the ball over the timeline into the hands of Gascoigne. Way outside the perimeter, and the shot clock already down to 10. Steenbakers right into Bergman. Tries the bounce pass, but Weeks another steal. UBC starting to force more and more turnovers in a highly defensive battle.
Yeah, for UBC, they had 322 steals as a team. In comparison, you've got the Huskies who had 181, so 140 more steals, which is incredible.
A lot of it coming from that full court press, which we've seen be effective a couple of times here in the quarter. Another long range attempt from the Huskies. No good. We are already over halfway through the second quarter. I'm not sure it's even been 30 minutes since this game started, as hitting the deck there is Beaumont and another tie-up.
It's always an interesting one of Beaumont kind of fell over Weeks, and again, sometimes you would see that as a foul, even though that person on the floor had nowhere to go, but.
Referees certainly letting them play so far. Had just 7 fouls called between these two teams combined, as we now have a timeout on the floor, tied up at 22. The UBC defense locking it a bit more in the second. We'll see if that continues. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
We are athletes.
Do you know what Husky athletes are made of?
Determination.
Hustle. Resilience. We're part of a team and a community.
We work hard for every goal.
And every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become?
Pharmacists,
Teachers.
professionals.
Olympians.
When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future.
When you elevate her, you elevate the game.
Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports.
See her,
Be her.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. The best U Sports women's volleyball teams head to Winnipeg for the 2025 U Sports Women's Volleyball Championship on March 14th to 16th. Catch the action exclusively on CBC as we are back underway here in Thunderbird Arena. Another shot from the outside. No good. Offensive rebound. Put back no good from Hargraves, who had a good impact off the bench in the first.
Yes, the Huskies have kind of cooled off from the outside and are struggling a little bit to get their offense going here.
Just 2 points so far in the quarter for SMU. Only 7 for the T-Birds, but it's been enough to even things up here at 22 apiece. As number 22, Kobayashi, goes inside and fouled by the other number 22, Jessica Clark.
I love when numbers work out like that.
Couldn't have scripted it any better.
Yeah, both teams making adjustments on the defensive end, and neither offense is really being able to get going, but that was a good take by Kobayashi to get to the rim and draw that foul.
Is the second personal on Jessica Clark, who now is replaced by Bergman. Kobayashi breaks up the number 22 love affair by putting her team up to 23 points for the game. Now Weeks in the high post. Tries that high-low feed that UBC has gone to a number of times so far, and Bergman draws the foul.
Yeah, they're really trying to isolate those posts. Again, they went 4 high. It just takes away the ability for defenses to come over and help.
Neither team in the bonus with just 3 minutes to play in the half. Merton goes the other way on a screen, drives baseline, keeps the dribble alive, finds Daly, shot clock, winding down. That's a circus shot from Kira Daly. Oh my goodness.
Yep, there's no part of her body that looked lined up for that shot, but all that really matters is your elbow and wrist as it goes up towards the hoop.
Now, Kobayashi, an off-balance leaning floater right there to answer right back.
Maybe they're all just trying to be a little too fundamental with their shots. They got to go and get a little creative out there.
Daly, bit more fundamental on that three-pointer, lining up the shoulders, the feet, and the bucket. Just the second three-pointer of the game for UBC. Kobayashi, Hargraves. UBC flashes a brief double, but it's reversed out to Gascoigne into traffic. Kobayashi has to fire, shot clock winding down, and I believe that is a shot clock violation. UBC turning things up defensively here in the second quarter.
Yeah, both teams are really turning it up defensively. If there's not a lot of room to penetrate, every time you're putting the ball on the floor, you can expect that second person or third person is coming at you and that you probably have to make a decision real quick.
Timeout on the floor. Two teams talking it over. Just a couple minutes to play here in the first half. And I guess when you have a battle between not just, of course, two of the very best teams in the country, but two of the very best defenses in the country, it's not too far-fetched to predict that we could get a game exactly like this.
Yeah, but they're also really high-scoring offenses as well. If UBC averaged 79.9 points per game, well, the Huskies average 72 points per game. So it's going to making the most of each possession. Both teams need to take a little bit better care of the ball if you can, but this defense is so intense, it's hard to. And then who's going to step up? Who wants to make those shots, right? Who is confident in all the work they've put up into the season until now?
We've seen some different strategies employed by the teams. The Huskies firing away from the outside to try and compensate for how clogged the paint is. UBC trying to use different actions to create the space for those high-low plays to still try and get it into the post. We'll see who is able to string a real offensive run together. Daly catches the ball in motion, drives, can't finish with the left. offensive rebound. Weeks has space to fire, rims out. As the two teams remain hard to separate. Emily Martindale back in off the bench, hounding the ball on the perimeter. Kobayashi working on her. Spinning, and a foul, or rather a travel is called, so that'll be a turnover for the Huskies. Both teams with 10 turnovers here in the first half.
And again, we're seeing a lot of subs, getting a lot of bodies in here for the Thunderbirds, and we'll see if that pays off down the back end, if they go back to their pressure, right? Cause a little bit of chaos that way. Running all their different sets here.
Daly trying to find someone to give it to, nearly falls over, nearly throws the ball away as well. Shot clock starting to wind down. Hun, Berlitz. She falls to the deck, and that'll be a tie-up.
And that's one tie-up you don't want if you're UBC with 0.2 seconds on the clock in your ball.
Not much you can do on this play besides just try and
really
throw it to someone to tip it.
Don't foul as well, right? Like, if you're the Huskies, that would be the worst part. You're probably better off that not even touching them, not even moving. I think you need at least 0.3 to even tip it. Back to this full court man pressure.
Hun against Kobayashi. Kobayashi gets some separation, pulls up from the elbow, no good. Hit ahead pass from Daly. Berlitz didn't quite have the angle to go up with it immediately like she probably would have liked to, and it'll be a UBC ball on the baseline.
23 seconds left here, right? About 2 possessions.
Berlitz is fouled. That is Caitlin Power in for the first time for the Huskies.
Yeah, UBC's had quite a bit of success, I'd say, on their baseline out of bounds there. Just some little quick hitters and drawing fouls right off the end line out of bounds.
This will be the 6th and 7th free throw attempts of the half for UBC. Just 2 so far for SMU. T-Birds as a team in the regular season shot 68% from the line, which was 10th in Canada West, but they are 7 for 7 here so far in this one. We have a timeout taken by the T-Birds, and going back to that free throw shooting in a game that's so defensive focused, buckets are so hard to come by, being able to hit your free throws is absolutely massive.
Yeah, right, and it's just, again, an opportunity to reset your shot, right? There's nothing else that really impacts your free throw. It can be the same every single time. So even if you're not shooting well from the floor, it's a good way to get yourself going.
Berlitz, after those free throws, now a game-high 8 points and 5 rebounds for her as well. Second team All-Canadian this season, top 5 in Canada West in scoring. As the Huskies will have more than enough time to take the ball down and try and get a shot off. Well, if they're able to make it past that UBC press, that is.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the Huskies go with here. Gascoigne hasn't taken a shot in the last 5 minutes, right, but is shooting very efficiently, is 3 of 4. So see if she can get a touch on the ball, even if it's to draw a second body over.
Steen Baker's back in for the end of this second quarter as Gascoigne has the ball in her hands, flings it to the corner. Hargraves from the outside. The threes have not been falling here in the second. Chance for UBC to hold for the last shot. Weeks into the body, offensive foul.
You could see the offhand kind of push off there.
So now it's back into the hands of Huskies perhaps for the final shot. of this first half.
I did not have 3 possessions in 22 seconds.
Hargraves, Kobayashi has to put it up. One-legged attempt, no good. And these two teams continue to grind things out. Here at Thunderbird Arena, UBC takes a 29-25 lead into halftime.
And it was their defense. Their defense, they changed it up. They went with a whole bunch of different pressures, and you could see that the Huskies were just going at a pace that they weren't comfortable with. It wasn't about getting steals. They did get a couple steals as soon as they went to their 1-2-2 with that little trap there, but you could see even the Huskies on the possession before that last possession where they kind of got a shot up with 15 seconds and then allowed UBC to get an opportunity. They're just going a little bit faster, so I think it's nice for them that it's halftime right now, get to reset and go into the second half.
We're going to throw it over to Sarah Saeed, who is with UBC head coach Isabelle Ormond.
Coach, you're up at the half. What do you like about the way your team's playing?
I think we manage a lot of pressure and activity from them to start the game, and it's a lot about setting your own footing and finding your base. So we found that eventually at the end of the first and the second. I'd love to see some more defensive pressure and defensive energy from us. So I think that's something we're going to talk about at half.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Oh, thank you.
Elle dit qu'elle veut voir plus d'énergie défensive de son équipe. Thank you.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Welcome back to UBC. Bienvenue de retour à UBC. Today we're going to do a PepsiCo Foods Canada U Sports Champion Spotlight. C'est maintenant que nous présentons le segment champion de U Sport en vedette présenté par Aliments PepsiCo Canada. I got to chat with Jeff Speedy, UNB Director of Athletics and former women's basketball coach about Shoot for the Cure, an initiative that helps raise money, millions, for breast cancer research. Ce soir, nous retrouvons Jeff Speedy, directeur des sports de l'UNB et ancien entraîneur de basketball féminin, pour parler du Lancer pour la guérison U-Sport, une initiative qui a permis d'amasser des millions de dollars pour la recherche des cancers du sein.
My name is Jeff Speedy. I'm the Director of Athletics here at the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I'm in year 2 of being the Director of Athletics here after a 30-plus year U Sports coaching career. Shoot for the Cure started from a meeting room with all the women's basketball coaches from U Sports. Way back in 2007, the women's basketball coach at Bishop's University, Rod Gilpin, indicated that they were starting to have a fundraiser game for an alumni of his program who was battling breast cancer. So he brought up that they were having that Think Pink game, like was happening all through NCAA, a bunch of different initiatives down there that were similar. He shouted out, well, why don't we do something together like they do in the U.S. instead of 4 or 5 of us doing something on our own. And that's really how the idea started. I was about to become the president of the Women's Basketball Coaches Association, I think, the year after that. So I kind of took the bull by the horns from Rob's idea, and a few of us kind of got on board and started the national initiative. And I think, for the first couple of years, we had 8, 10, 12 schools getting involved. That was about it. But as time moved on and as everybody kind of got involved and got engaged, it peaked, 10, 12 years later with every single women's basketball program in U Sports being involved. So, it really grew into something special, and, we certainly didn't envision that from that meeting the very first day. I was a women's basketball coach for all those years. I felt it was my responsibility to help the student athletes on the team that I coach become better students, better basketball players, and better people. Getting them involved in the community and showing them the importance of being involved in the community is one of the easiest ways to do that. At UNB, our teams are very involved in the community, not just the women's basketball team that I used to coach and our current coach, Macolina, is doing a great job with, but a lot of our teams are very engaged and involved in the community. It's been very rewarding for me to see that kind of growth and our student athletes realize the difference they can make in the community and the importance of giving back to the community. And if it makes them, a slightly better person because they're of a giving mindset and it's something that they take with them as an adult and do for the rest of their lives, then, that's another reason why Shoot for the Cure is important and can do more than just raising funds and raising awareness to help beat cancer.
When we return to Vancouver, it's first half highlights and statistics. Après la pause, les faits saillantes et les statistiques de la première mi-temps. Vous écoutez l'U-Sport à Radio-Canada. You're watching U-Sports on CBC.
We are athletes.
Do you know what Husky athletes are made of? Determination.
Hustle.
Resilience.
We're part of a team and a community.
We work hard for every goal.
And every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become?
Pharmacists.
Teachers.
Professionals.
Olympians.
When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future.
When you elevate her, you elevate the game.
Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports.
See her,
Be her.
This is more than just a game. This is about who rules the court. The U Sports Basketball Championships, March 13th to 16th on CBC Gem.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Le sport en direct sur ici-tout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur ici-tout.tv.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Thunderbird Medical Supplies, les bagues Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, APAR, and by Indochino.
Welcome back to Vancouver. Bienvenue de retour à Vancouver. Halftime score is UBC 29, SMU 25. I'm here with head coach of the SMU Huskies, Scott Monroe. Coach, what are you looking to focus on here in the next half?
We've got to do a better job handling their pressure and look to try to score off their pressure, which we didn't do a great job of in the first half. We didn't shoot the ball great in the second quarter, and we've got to continue to be confident and step up and make some shots in the second half.
Thanks, Coach. Il dit qu'il veut soulever la confiance de l'équipe et surmonter la pression. Thank you.
Halftime statistics are brought to you by Wilson, the official U Sports basketball. Jake McGrail here with Katie Miyazaki. You're watching U Sports on CBC, and Katie, there are defensive battles, and then there is what is going on right now at Thunderbird Arena. You can see from the field goal percentage, three-point percentage. It has been a slugfest out there so far.
Yeah, and as Coach Monroe just alluded to, they struggled to shoot and handle that pressure in that second quarter. That second quarter, they shot 2 of 16 and had 8 turnovers. UBC didn't do much better. They had 7 turnovers, but their shooting percentage was a little bit more up there, and that's why they were able to take the lead. So it'll be interesting to see the adjustments coming out in the second half.
See the first half highlights right now. The Huskies started out pretty hot from the outside, but as you alluded to, very much cooled off there in the second quarter. UBC, first and second, were pretty even in terms of how often they were scoring, how they were scoring. They've been sticking to their game plan so far, and with the score like this, very much anyone's game, and we'll have to see how these two teams adjust coming out of this halftime break.
And Kira Daly is one to watch. She started to heat up in that second quarter, scoring all 7 of her points, including that nice acrobatic shot we saw in that highlight package.
Hit one of just 2 3-pointers on the night for the T-Birds as well. The two teams are heading back out onto the court. A spot in the U Sports semifinals on the line, where the winner will play either the 1 seed Saskatchewan Huskies or 8 seed Alberta Pandas. Two Canada West teams. The third Canada West team out there on the court right now in the UBC Thunderbirds, along with the lone AUS representative, the St. Mary's Huskies. And we are underway here in the third. Aki Kobayashi has it and picks up her dribble basically on the logo. Gets it back now from Chloe Wilson. Flung into the corner. Beaumont, shot clock winding down. She has Weeks on her. Spins. Knocked away. And the referees will let UBC take it forward with a live ball turnover. Karis Merton drives, finds Weeks, the long two, no good.
Now we'll see if either of these teams can get going and take advantage of those turnovers. There was a total of 2 fast break points as Gascoigne gets going there.
Certainly what the Huskies and Coach Monroe wanted to see come out of the break. Their MVP, Claire Gascoigne, getting the and one. Now 9 points for her. One of the few players shooting the ball efficiently so far, now 4 for 5 from the field.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she gets going. All 7 of her first half points came in the first quarter, so it was a quiet second quarter for her.
Berlitz now double teamed, finds the cutting Taniguchi, gives it back to Berlitz, and she is fouled. I believe that was Kobayashi reaching down from the perimeter.
The good thing is so far no one really in foul trouble. Kobayashi, that was her second there. Power also has 2, and Clark has 2 on UBC.
Jumper there from Berlitz, no good. So UBC coming up empty on their first 2 offensive trips. Gascoigne, who got the big bucket last time down, handles for the Huskies. Kobayashi right into Merton. Nice job using her body, just can't finish, rattling in and out. Berlitz backs it out. Bounce past Taniguchi. Plenty of bodies in the paint for SMU. Daly finds Merton. She'll take the 3. No good. Now Gascoigne gives it up to Kobayashi, who runs the attack once again. A great defensive play by Karis Merton, knocking it away. Now Taniguchi wide open. Instead of taking the 3, drives, finds Daly, will fire off the back of the rim. Now fight for the ball. Weeks knocks it away. It will remain Huskies ball, but just 19 seconds on the shot clock.
And again, they're coming out, and UBC just takes a lot out of you. They are chasing you everywhere on the floor. Taniguchi is the one that's having to chase Gascoigne around and ensure that she's not getting any open looks.
Pressure remains on. Huskies have to get it across half court. That's why Fraser threw that pass. It's picked off by Weeks, right into Fraser, and she'll go to the free throw line.
And you can see that those Thunderbirds practice that, right? Of those kind of steps that slow down and change the angle, so able to draw that foul.
Weeks so far, 5 points, 6 rebounds. She scored the first 5 points of the game for the T-Birds, but been very quiet offensively since then. That's the first free throw miss of the night for any of the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, Weeks does play the most minutes of any of the T-Birds, but only averages about 26 minutes per game, and she already played 18 in that first half.
The difference between the regular season and the national championships, everything tightens up a little bit. You know, you got to ride your top players. Weeks a Canada West All-Star in the 2023-24 campaign. Jessica Clark now coming back in. We did not see much of her in the second quarter. She had 2 fouls. Gascoigne, guarded by Taniguchi. She drives baseline, kicks it out to Fraser. Clark. And that's not what Coach Isabel Ormond would have wanted to see. Her big forward checking back in and immediately committing another personal.
Lucky for Clark, that one actually was called on Daly, who is also in the vicinity.
Definitely missed that one right there, but fortunate nonetheless for UBC. Nearly getting her own miss right there was Lucy Beaumont. Will be Huskies ball. Crowd not a fan of that call.
Yeah, that was a tough one there. There was some good box outs, but no one went and got the ball.
And then the ball immediately goes out of play. This time off of Fraser, and it will be UBC ball after all.
Yeah, and that'll be the interesting thing as we go along of this pressure. It doesn't necessarily get steals, but it does wear you down.
Huskies now have committed more turnovers than UBC after UBC committed a number in that first quarter. Daly through contact, drove right into a couple of defenders there and couldn't get a clean shot off. Now Kobayashi. Wilson gives it up. Fraser kicks. Gascoigne, no hesitation. Rare miss from her so far tonight.
And again, switching in here, you see Martindale coming in for Taniguchi, so Martindale's probably going to be the one chasing Gascoigne all the way around the floor.
Steenbaker's also back in, as well as Hargraves. 2 players who combined for 11 points in that first quarter, but didn't score in the second, as the Huskies only scored 5 points total in that second quarter. Daly, Jade Hun, Clark. Tries that high-low once again, but threw it a little bit over Olivia Weeks. Clark maybe forgetting that not everyone is 6'4".
Oh, it's actually Kira Daly with the task of Gascoigne.
2 players who were honored at the U Sports Award banquet last night. Gascoigne, Defensive Player of the Year. Daly, Rookie of the Year. That'll be a tie-up in UBC ball.
Sometimes that's the best thing of getting to guard the best player on the floor, because then your teammates are going to be super hyper-vigilant to make sure that they're in help side, just as Olivia Weeks was there.
Hun, Weeks inside. Clark goes up with the left, first made a field goal of the second half for UBC.
Yeah, but when Clark gets positioned that deep, there's not a lot you can do.
Now driving, Kobayashi off the shoulder there of Beaumont, but she keeps hold, and she draws the foul.
Back and forth we go.
All of St. Mary's points so far in the third have come off of and ones. First from Gascoigne, and now Beaumont successfully completing it for 3. Quick head ahead. Emily Martindale pulls it back out. Hun wide open. Can't make the defense pay. Daly nearly knocks away that pass. Now Knocked into the hands of Hargraves. Gascoigne driving against Weeks through contact. What a tough finish by Clara Gascoigne.
Yeah, you could just see that entire right side open, and you can't let the AUS Player of the Year have that much space to work with.
Huskies retake the lead. Daly, tough bounce pass, can't hit Clark. Now it's Steenbaker's the other way. Weeks and Hun trying to trap her on the sideline, gets out of it. Now Gascoigne fires, no good. UBC trying to keep things a little up-tempo. Hun up against Gascoigne, goes baseline. And there's a foul on the Huskies forward. First foul on Clara Gascoigne as we'll have a timeout on the floor. St. Mary's opening up the third quarter with an 8-3 run as they take a 33-32 lead. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you got this.
Early mornings, late nights, every rep, every sacrifice leading to this. Fueled by BioSteel, the best get the chance to make their mark. One weekend, one shot at blue.
You're watching the 2025 Indochino U Sports Final 8 presented by Victory Creative Group. Coverage continues Saturday with the women's semifinals beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern on CBC. And you can catch the women's gold medal game at 7 p.m. Eastern on CBC Gem and Sportsnet on Sunday. Going out of that timeout will be UBC ball. 4:14 on the game clock, 16 seconds on the shot clock as Huskies are trying to turn the tables from that second quarter. Taniguchi finds Berlitz. Creating some separation, puts up the three, no good. Gascoigne now the other way, finds Hargraves. Now Steenbakers can't hit from the outside, and another rebound for Mona Berlitz. UBC trying to get the momentum going on this end of the court. Sophia Bergman.
There's just really nowhere to go against this Huskies defense. They're trying to move that ball.
Has to put it up. And talk about a bailout call for the Thunderbirds. 0.1 seconds on the shot clock, and it's a foul on the Huskies.
That's again the tough ones if you fall, and it just happens to be the person that has the ball.
There's Hargraves there committing the personal. Merton and Weeks back in for UBC. Not too long of a rest. Berlitz sizes up Beaumont, spins to the right through contact and finishes.
Yeah, Berlitz was finally able to find some space. I think that's for the first time she's actually had a lane to drive and go up one-on-one rather than drawing that second defender.
First UBC player to hit double figures in points with 10. Hargraves, catch, fire, no good. Fight for the ball, Berlitz has it.
Both teams doing an excellent job of boxing out, trying to ensure that no one's getting a second chance.
Berlitz nearly has that poked away by Beaumont. Those two have been going at it all night long. Merton, shot clock again, winding down as she drives to the basket and knocks out of play, rejected by Kobayashi. Just 1.2 on the clock. To Weeks, she can't control it. And the Huskies will take over. Beaumont, bounce pass inside, Steenbaker's finishes.
And we'll see if either team can get those easy baskets in transition.
Certainly nothing easy right there as we have another tie-up.
I feel like none of these baskets, the whole entire game has been easy. Each team has had to work hard.
Two teams both shooting 29% from the field. If you combine the totals from the two teams, we've had more turnovers than made baskets here tonight. Nothing easy, as you said.
Yeah, both these teams extremely physical as we watch some of those replays. If you can just see, it is a battle all over the floor, and they're leaving it all out there.
Hargraves elects to drive this time, and there's another turnover, a steal by the T-Birds. Daly pushing it down the floor, walling up there defensively were the Huskies, and in the midst of another mosh pit in the paint, it's a foul on SMU.
Yeah, that was just a smart play by Weeks there of just knowing there was contact, and I don't even think her body was facing the hoop, but knowing their arms and shoulders were going to get hit, she could get that call.
UBC in the bonus for the final 154 of this third quarter. T-Birds still with one more foul to give on the other end. Weeks rattles that one home to retake a 1-point lead. Hargraves fires again from the outside, unable to replicate that success she had in the opening quarter. Huskies 4 for 27 from the outside. Daly dribbles it off her foot, going the other way.
Again, just a little bit of contact. Everything's a little bit harder. You've been playing hard all game. See who can get an easy one here.
That certainly is not easy for the Huskies as Bertlitz comes up with the steal. She now drives right into Beaumont, trying to create that separation. Can't bank it in. Hit ahead pass, Beaumont the other way. Wide open in the corner is Hargraves. And finally, one goes down. First three-pointer for the Huskies since the first quarter.
Yeah, and it comes in transition, that little bit of breakdown, right? It's a little bit harder to defend that three. And then once one goes down, that's where you're in trouble.
Berlitz will go to the line. And for Evie Hargraves, who had 7 points off the bench in the AUS final, she is certainly making an impact here in this one once again. We've talked about how experienced veteran this SMU team is. She's the, if you look at their top 8 players in minutes played this season, Hargraves the only one who's not in her 4th or 5th year, the first-year player.
Yeah, and that's exciting if you're a Huskies fan of just thinking about the years to come. Well, right now you want to focus on this national championship in this quarterfinal game, but does get you excited as a Huskies fan.
As we are now knotted at 38, winding down this third quarter. Gascoigne into the corner. Beaumont can't hit the triple.
Last shot here for UBC. See how far they wind it down before they start their attack.
Daly on the perimeter, sizing up Fraser. Work it inside. Scoop shot, no good. Clark fighting for that offensive rebound. She has it. Banks it up and in! Bumper cars on the inside. And that is a very fitting end to the third quarter. 40-38 for UBC with 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, and at the rate that this game is going, that's what it's going to come down to, right? Of these big plays.
You're watching U Sports on CBC. Which of these two teams will head to the U Sports semifinals? We'll find out in the fourth quarter.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Statistics after three quarters are brought to you by Wilson Evolution, official U Sports basketball. Both teams searching for that offensive consistency. SMU held a 13-11 edge in that third quarter, and it's fittingly the two forwards doing the damage for their respective teams. Mona Berlitz nearly a double-double, 12 points, 9 rebounds for her so far here in this one.
Yeah, and it's been a great back and forth game here of stars on both sides stepping up. We've had 16 lead changes so far.
On the other side, Clara Gascoigne, 15 points on 6 of 9 shooting for her, the AUS MVP. Has been doing some MVP things out there for her team. Jessica Clark in the post. Finds Olivia Weeks, now Kira Daly. Trying the bounce pass, unable to hit her twin sister Nicole Daly, who's in for the first time to begin this fourth quarter. Talk about going a little bit deeper in that rotation as now Nicole Daly comes up with the steal. They're out there with Clark, Hun, and Weeks. Hun sizing up Aaliyah Fraser. Tiptoeing along the baseline, stepping out of play. Taniguchi right back in, replacing Nicole Daly. Starting out there for the fourth quarter, it's Gascoigne, Beaumont, Steenbakers, Hargraves, and Fraser for SMU. Fraser drives to the basket. When was the last time we had a somewhat uncontested layup?
I don't think we really have.
That high-low feed once again, Jessica Clark on the inside.
I mean, sometimes if you're 6'4", I can just imagine that's kind of like an uncontested layup right there, depending who's defending you.
So after getting the buzzer beater to end the third, Clark gets the bucket early in the fourth and then comes up with the steal.
Clark has had some very efficient and effective minutes for the UBC Thunderbirds.
11 points for her as the ball on the deck. Tie up once again will be Huskies ball. See Kira Daly frustrated after that one. Taniguchi, one of the veteran leaders, coming over, trying to make sure she stays locked in. She now will take a breather. Nicole Daly back in.
Yeah, it's one of those things of just taking a breath, right? Resetting.
Sure she'll be back in after not too much longer. Double team way outside the perimeter on Fraser, and it is a turnover, and Weeks draws the foul. It's not quite a full court press, but as soon as Fraser crossed half court, she got swarmed.
Yeah, and that's kind of what UBC's done throughout this game, is throwing different things at you so you don't really know when to expect it, right? It's not like they've been doubling the entire game. It's just coming at you all of a sudden and you're not prepared for that double team.
After that turnover, Coach Scott Monroe immediately bringing back in Kobayashi at the point. Hun, ankle breaker, feeds it to Clark. Highlight play for the Thunderbirds. Trying to respond is Steenbaker's in and out on that three. Lead is up to 4 for the home team.
Yeah, and Weeks has almost got a double-double, but double-digit rebounds there. She's been cleaning up that defensive glass.
She now drives, hits the deck, still has it, somehow finds Clark. Now it's Hun from the outside. No good. Fight for the ball that will remain in the hands of the T-Birds.
Sometimes I watch and I couldn't tell who that went off of, but that's why I sit over here and I'm not an official.
It's brave of you to admit.
There's about 8 different hands that could have hit that ball right there.
Taniguchi finds Hun. No hesitation on the three. Can't hit. Chasing down that ball is Gascoigne. Steenbaker's briefly knocked out of her hands there by Taniguchi. And Nicole Daly ripping it away. What a defensive play, leading to the breakout for Taniguchi.
Again, national championships here. Big moments call for big plays, and right there is a really big play.
Nicole Daly, not playing at all in the first 3 quarters, comes up with a massive play to set up Taniguchi. UBC up by 6. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est icitout.tv.
Back here at Thunderbird Arena, another look at that fantastic play by Nicole Daly, setting up Sarah Taniguchi for the layup.
And it's a stat you don't look at too much, but the plus minus in 2 minutes and 43 seconds that Nicole Daly's been on the floor, the Thunderbirds are a +8.
Massive in a game as close as this one. Kira Daly now back out there on the court, coming out of that stoppage. Kobayashi trying to work her way inside, knocked away for the moment. Now Gascoigne fires the three. What a massive shot for the Huskies to try and get some of that momentum back.
Yeah, we'll see what Gascoigne can do down the stretch. Now up to, I think, 18 or 15 points on the day.
Bad pass and a turnover. Hargraves has it stolen right back. Kira Daly to the basket, knocked out of play and last off of the U Sports Rookie of the Year.
Fans here don't like that call.
Berlitz now back on the court, replacing Clark. And a game that feels like it's gonna go down to the wire. Kobayashi, the floater, no good. Berlitz, another rebound. Double-double for her tonight. Kira Daly sizes up the defense. Now Weeks. She drives, goes up with the left, can't finish. Kobayashi immediately pressured in the backcourt. Almost a violation there by St. Mary's, but they get it across. Shot clock already down to 8 as Gascoigne drives, tries to feed Beaumont. Turnover.
Again, that's what the pressure of UBC can do. If it's not getting that steal, but it's getting you deep into that shot clock where you're kind of having to go into an ISO play or a pick play. That one was an ISO play for Gascoigne.
Taniguchi back in for UBC, and she has it on the perimeter. Jade Hun, who has seen a lot of action off the bench here tonight. Putting in some good defensive work as Kira Daly feeds it to Taniguchi, and a big block inside by Steenbakers.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Again, this Huskies team is all about 6 feet in there. It's not so friendly for someone the height of Taniguchi.
Shot clock winding down. Berlitz, tough pass to Taniguchi. Will be a shot clock violation.
I feel like I've said it over and over, but these possessions, these turnovers are going to become more and more critical as we get down the stretch.
Almost another turnover right there by the Huskies on another occasion. Beaumont, space to drive. Good rotation over by Weeks. Gascoigne. Guarded by Taniguchi. Puts up a wild attempt. Good save there by Hargreaves, but Beaumont not enough time to put up a shot. Good heads-up play, though, by the first-year player.
Well,
Thunderbirds and Coach Ormond continue to mix and match with their lineups. Now Clark back out there, immediately fed in the post and immediately double-teamed. Trying to hit Weeks with the backdoor feed, and another turnover. Both teams well over 20.
who can convert? Who's going to step up? Whose moment is this right now coming down the stretch?
Taniguchi nearly forcing it away from Gascoigne. Again, using that screen. She pulls up from the mid-range, no good. Weeks, another defensive rebound. Daly drives right into traffic, tries to force it up, no good. Clark gets it to Merton, flings it to the corner. Taniguchi, yes sir! Talk about a massive three-pointer.
And then immediately back into defending the star of the Huskies, Gascoigne.
Kobayashi now working her way inside, and a travel is called.
Right, and you can see a little bit of the momentum shifting to the Thunderbirds. If you're the Huskies here, it's really important that you get a stop. You're calling a timeout here, just kind of reset.
That Taniguchi triple got one of the loudest cheers of the night. Bullet pass from Merton into the corner, and just the third triple, first of the second half for UBC.
And that's one of the best feelings if your teammates did a lot of the work. She was spacing out for them and just hanging out there, and it was like, oh, I guess it's time to shoot this, knock this down. She's not just out there to cause some havoc on the defensive end, but she can knock down those shots when needed.
Certainly has been causing some havoc on the defensive end as well. Very impressive work going up against the AUS MVP, Clara Gascoigne, who has a size advantage on her, but she has been making life difficult for the Huskies star. 2 steals on the night for Taniguchi. UBC as a team 15 compared to 14 for St. Mary's. There's been so many great defensive plays to highlight, and we'll just have to see who can pull out the offensive plays to match here in this final 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, we're locking in here, right? Again, we'll see who steps up, whose moment this is. See if nerves start to come into play, if that plays into the hands of the Huskies again with those 5 fifth-year veterans on the floor.
Good press break by the T-Birds. Hun finds Berlitz, immediately drives to the basket, goes up with the left, just can't finish. Now Gascoigne coming the other way. Beaumont into Berlitz, goes to the left, Clark trying to contest and commits the foul.
That was another one of those where it was almost a turnover, but Beaumont was able to stick with it and get the ball back and draw the contact.
Earlier in the broadcast, you talked about the season scoring averages for both these teams, both averaging over 70 points a game in the regular season. They're fighting tooth and nail to crack 50 here in this one.
I was going to say before the game that the target score was 71 because that's been the winning score in both of the other games so far.
Seems like at this point it would take some overtime periods for either of these two teams to reach 71, but they certainly won't care how many points they score as long as it's more than the other team.
Yeah, and that just speaks to how great defensively both these teams are. They are just plugging up those lanes, being long, causing havoc, of forcing really great players to make mistakes, right? And we'll see who steps up as we lead into these last 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes now. We've seen a lot of different players play well. Jessica Clark has been hard to contain down low. But then you've got, again, Clara Gascoigne on the one end. You've got Hargraves, who's knocked down 3 triples. Can she hit another one that could just kind of get them right back into this game?
Hargraves nearly a double-double, 9 points, 9 rebounds for the first-year player in her first game at the U Sports Final 8. Jessica Clark leads the way in terms of points for UBC with 13. Mona Berlitz, double-double, 12 and 10. Olivia Weeks, 8 and 12. And Gascoigne, of course, 15 points for her to lead all scorers here tonight. Huskies showing a press. Fraser almost picking off that inbounds pass. Weeks trapped immediately after going half court. Finds Hun. Now Berlitz gets to the basket, can't finish. Weeks another offensive rebound, and she'll head to the free throw line.
Yeah, that was another, again, an offensive rebound, right? Again, every possession matters down this stretch, whether it's through turnovers, it's through boxing out. And Olivia Weeks has gotten herself to the line, hustling after those offensive rebounds.
It's been the biggest advantage that UBC has had over St. Mary's in this one, has been their ability to get to the free throw line.
Yeah, like Olivia Weeks is not shooting well today from the field, but she is making a huge impact on the floor, whether it's rebounding, creating second chances, and converting from the free throw line.
And UBC, whose Achilles heel for much of the regular season was free throw shooting, is 14 for 15 from the free throw line tonight. All of them massive in a game where they only lead by 6.
This is where all that practice pays off.
Huskies 5 for 6 from the stripe tonight. Kobayashi Fraser dishes inside to Beaumont, trying to hit Gascoigne, knocked out of play there by Hun. Steenbakers to Gascoigne. Just 5 seconds on the shot clock. Steenbakers in the corner. No good. Weeks.
Cleaning up that glass again.
14 rebounds to go with 10 points. And she's fouled, but not close to the bonus just yet.
Under 2.5 minutes.
Berlitz to inbound. Clark searching. Gets it to Hun. Huskies not giving up anything easy. Once again, Daly drives up with the right, no good. Kobayashi double teamed in the backcourt. Numbers now for SMU. Fraser wide open, and she makes it count.
What a time to hit your first three of the game there by Fraser, but they caught UBC with 3 players going after the rebounder there. Gave them numbers coming down the floor.
A rare mistake in setting up that press for UBC, as we had a shot clock malfunction which caused that stoppage in play.
But yeah, now it's just that little bit of, okay, can you go for that offensive rebound, or is it more important for you to get set and get back on defense?
A 3-point game with 1:53 to go. Any mistake is critical. Clark, double team, flings it to Weeks. Berlitz drives, Euro step to the basket.
Good patience there, but you've got her open.
Fraser again, can't hit that time, and Clark pulls down the board. Coach Ormond trying to call out instructions to her team.
Yeah.
Daly.
Trying to take time off the clock, but still get a high quality shot. Unfortunately, a turnover there. Good hands.
Kobayashi with the steal.
Here we go.
Fraser again. No good. 3-point attempt number 36 for St. Mary's.
Yeah, they're gonna play this out right here.
Daly into the corner. Jade Hun. No good. Olivia Weeks again. Another rebound. 15 on the night.
And I feel like that has been the difference of she has created second chance opportunities for this UBC Thunderbirds team and has gotten herself to the line 8 times. This will be her 9th and 10th trip to the line.
That is a season high in rebounds for Weeks. Just her second miss at the free throw line tonight. Will remain a 2-possession lead. Make or miss, and it's a make.
There you go, and she's logged 36 minutes so far today.
Gascoigne, Steenbakers, Fraser. Huskies need a bucket. Fraser drives into contact. No whistle, and it will be St. Mary's to inbound. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Kobayashi, quick hitter. Beaumont caught the defense sleeping a little bit right there, and she'll head to the line.
Yeah, tough one there. You'll see what happens coming after these free throws. It is a 6-point game, so no matter what, a 2-possession game, you're kind of in the, you have to foul or get a steal.
Huskies will surely at least try and get a steal before fouling or not.
And again, they've got a lot of wingspan on the court right now, so they probably could cause a lot of chaos.
They've gotten a good number of steals in this one. Beaumont hits both free throws. Both teams have been shooting very high percentages from the line. And a timeout called by UBC, trying to set up this inbounds play. They'll have the option to advance the ball as well. And now it's part basketball, part game of chess in these late game situations. 4-point lead, 33 seconds on the clock. Both coaches have to decide how they want to approach this.
Yeah, right. If you're UBC, all you don't want to do is give up a live ball turnover that can lead to a quick transition for the Huskies. If you're the Huskies, you're trying to cause chaos, trying to get an easy basket, right? Because you've got to score at least twice to at least tie this ball game. We'll see what Coach Ormond decides to do, whether she's advancing it up or if she's taking it in the backcourt there and being willing to handle that pressure.
The crowd here at Thunderbird Arena trying to will their team on through this final stretch of action.
Advancing the ball up.
Which of course comes with its own benefits and its own negatives as the shot clock now shrinks to 14 seconds. We'll see if that alters how the Huskies want to play things. Weeks gets it to Clark and they foul her immediately.
And Clark will go to the line here.
She is 3 for 3 from the stripe tonight. 13 points off the bench.
Got some offense, defense subs going on here. Nicole Daly has earned the right to play some defensive possessions here down the stretch.
Steenbaker's now also back in for the Huskies as a free throw missed there by Clark. Her first of the night, just the third miss for UBC at the line tonight. And another miss. Remains a 4-point game. Beaumont almost turns it over.
Yeah, and this is where, again, the UBC has succeeded, is they're able to take a lot of time off the clock with their pressure. So this could really limit the Huskies as well unless they're able to get a quick look here in transition.
Kobayashi, Steenbaker's back to Kobayashi. She'll take the three, no good. Not a great look right there for St. Mary's.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Kobayashi acknowledging that you needed to get a good quality shot there, but they had to get it up sooner rather than later with only 15 seconds remaining in the game.
So a big opportunity lost there for the Huskies. Had the break from 2 missed free throws by UBC, but then with the chance to make it a one-possession game, he only able to get a contested 3 that misses its mark. And now there's just 14 seconds on the shot clock. You have to imagine the Huskies will be pressing aggressively, trying to get a steal here.
Yeah, and it's tough again of UBC. They gave it to Clark last time. 6'4", right? There's not many people that are going to be able to get in her cylinder and get up to that ball. It'll be interesting if Coach Ormond also prepares them for after the possession's over. They've only got 2 team fouls, so really if they wanted to slow down the Huskies, they could use those fouls and make them continually inbound the ball at least 3 times. You just can't do it intentionally. You got to make a play on the ball.
Once again, UBC advances the ball. It will be Olivia Weeks to inbound. Berlitz hits the deck. Weeks finds Clark once again. They don't foul her immediately. More time comes off the clock. And now Olivia Weeks will head to the line.
Yeah, and that was great composure. We said hard to defend Clark, right? It's such a big target. Still time left on the clock here. still will only be a 2-possession ball game.
Wonder how many hearts were in Mouse when UBC elected to whip the ball around there before taking that foul, as Weeks hits the first free throw. Does miss the second. Almost an offensive rebound. More time continuing to come off the clock. And UBC, the press, is going to take it all down. The UBC Thunderbirds advance to the U Sports semifinals in their return to the tournament after a decade away.
Yes, and it was just, I think it was their defense that really won the game for them today. They were able to get those stops down the stretch, and then Olivia Weeks on the glass on both ends of the floor was just able to get them extra possessions.
What a battle, a war of attrition out there on the court here tonight. The home team are the ones who come out on top. A tough blow for the veteran-laden St. Mary's Huskies. Of course, their time here in Vancouver is not over. They'll be playing in the consolation round, but not what they would have hoped for in what was the final year for many of them.
Yeah, and it's a tough one. I think if you play this game over 10 times, it probably is 5 for UBC, 5 for the Huskies, and it really could have gone either way, but tonight it went the Thunderbirds' way.
We're now going to see the presentation of the Player of the Game awards on both teams. It's Clara Gascoigne who gets the honor for St. Mary's. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 5 steals for her. She played all 40 minutes tonight.
Yeah, and she left it all out there, all on the floor. And a lot of the things that she does for her team, you can't even see on the stat sheet.
And it's the 5th-year forward for the T-Birds who gets the award as well. Jessica Clark, 13 points, 4 rebounds off the bench in just 22 minutes of action. She was able to really get going inside, especially in that second half.
And there just wasn't an answer. Once they figured out how to create that space to allow Jessica Clark to get those post-ups, there really wasn't much you could do.
The UBC Thunderbirds will advance to the semifinals. They'll have to wait and see who they will face, either Saskatchewan or Alberta. The final sets are brought to you by Wilson, makers of the official U Sports basketball. The UBC Thunderbirds shot just 31% from the field, 3 for 15 from the outside, but they did just enough, powered by the defense and the rebounding, to make it through.
Yeah, and then in these games, it's the little things that matter, and I think that difference in the rebounds was the difference in this game tonight.
A thrilling, dramatic piece of action here at Thunderbird Arena, and we're not done. Of course, going on in War Memorial Gym right now with Saskatchewan versus Alberta on the women's side, and on the men's side, one more quarterfinal, the UBC men's team taking on the UPEI Panthers, champions of the AUS. But for this one, my name is Jake McGrail. Thank you to Katie Miyazaki joining me. You've been watching U Sports on CBC, and we hope you catch much more of the basketball action to come.
U-Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Thunderbird Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, APAR, and by Indochino.